Sanibonani, namhlanje sizofunda inkondlo eqhamuka kwibhuku elibizwa ngokuthi Inhlansi, isihloko sayo ubuhle bentombi. I'm going to use both languages, Isizulu and English. We are going to look at Isakhiwo sangaphandle, which is an outer structure, and Isakhiwo sangapakathi, which is an inner structure or inner structure rather. Just to look at the picture, Lana, we can see a beautiful black girl, and from the way that she's dressed, we can see what she is Zulu. So Inkondlo yethu is going to be based around Intombi yomZulu. Let's look at it. Isakhiwo sangaphandle. When we look at Isakhiwo sangaphandle, we are looking at the outer structure. So at the moment, we are not going to dwell too much on the inner structure of the poem and understanding ukuthi kwenzakalani ngaphakathi. Sizobuka imigqa, sibuke nokuthi ibhalwe kanjani without having to understand it or analyze it. Ubuhle bentombi. Uma sibuka imigqa lana, siyabona ukuthi imigqa yethu ayilingani and inophawu. And uphawu, we mean punctuation marks. It does not have it has punctuation marks at the end. So automatically by looking at that, we can see ukuthi inkondlo yethu inesigqi esinenzayo. And by that I mean ukuthi the rhythm of the poem is slow. So ephepheni uma ubuzwa ukuthi isigqi senkondlo sinjani, sizothi isigqi senkondlo siyanenza. That's a 1 mark. And then if you have to give a reason, ngoba imigqa noma olayini abalingani. That's a point number 1. Point number 2, ngoba inophawu lokuloba ekugcineni. Right. So the punctuation marks at the end of the lines, they make when you are reading ukuthi upause ube nekhefu, uthathe ikhefu at the end of each line, and automatically that makes inkondlo yakho ibe slow. Now let's look at the poem stanza by stanza. Siyabona ukuthi we have stanza amathathu. Siyabona ukuthi sinemigqa eyi-12 and ngesiZulu lapho sithi imigqa eyi-12. Uma sibheka umugqa wokuqala, kukhona b abaningi, and lapho ifana msindo eyifana ngwaqa b. So i-question yakho maybe veza ifana msindo etholakala kumugqa wokuqala noma veza ifana msindo etholakala kwistanza sokuqala. And siyabona ukuthi B bethu baningi. So ifana ngwaqa. Ifana ngwaqa is a consonant and ifana nkamisa is a vowel. So ifana ngwaqa. Kumugqa wesibili siyaphinda sithola ifana msindo, kodwa ke this time it's not ifana ngwaqa, ifana nkamisa. So as you can see, there's a lot of I's, and that makes it ifana nkamisa I. Uma sesibheka imvumelwano, line 1 and line 2 at the end, sithola imvumelwano sigcina Zulu. Remember that uma senza imvumelwano, we are doing syllables. So lana ama-syllables ethu that are the same are at the end of the line and uZulu. And we also find umugqa 1 and 3. We find imvumelwano maphakathi eyeqanayo, because now there's a line in between that's separating them. And imvumelwano maphakathi eyeqanayo, and then it's BE, because remember we're doing syllables and syllables. Stanza 2, umugqa 4 and 5. We find imvumelwano sigcina unjana, njana. Stanza 5 and 6, again we find unjana. Remember, they always imvumelwano goes ngama-pairs. So we can, as much as kukhona unjana 4th line, unjana 5th line, and unjana 6th line, we cannot have those ahambe ndawonye. They cannot be a trio. So they always go ngama pairs. That's why then we are separating it. 4 and 5 unjana imvumelano sigcino, and then 5 and 6 unjana imvumelano sigcino. Right. Now you're going to ignore umuqa 5 and you are going to look at umuqa 4 and 6. Lapho sithola imvumelano sigcino eyeqanayo from unjana and unjana. We are still on stanza 2, umuqa 5 and 6. Sithola igama elithi ukusika and naka, and those two have ama syllables of uka. So imvumelano maphakathi ka. Okay, so when you're analyzing a poem, yes, as much as ama stanza akho ehlukene, uyakwazi ukuthatha umuqa okwistanza ophezulu and another stanza. So as you can see here, line 5 and line 7, uyabona ukuthi khona ungi and ungi, which is going to be imvumelano siqalo eyeqanayo. On stanza 3, umuqa 7, or you can say stanza 3, umuqa 1. Please make sure ukuthi when you are directing umuntu on a question paper, you do specify ukuthi istanza bani and what line. So here siyabona ukuthi stanza 3 umuqa 1, or you can say umuqa 7, right? So I'm going to say umuqa 7. We are finding Isizulu. And why is it Isizulu? Because sinophawu lokuloba phakathi nomuqa. So we are finding a punctuation mark in the middle of the sentence. Umuqa 8 siphinde futhi sithole ifana nkamisa, the same as the one kade sitholile kumuqa 2. So sithola ifana nkamisa I kumuqa 8. You will also notice ukuthi umuqa 8 does not have uphawu lokuloba ekugcineni. Alukho uphawu lokuloba ekugcineni, so it's an open line, umuqa ovulekile. And umuqa ovulekile, we call it i-enjambment. So kwi-question yakho you will be asked ukuthi hlobo luni lomuqa olutholakala kumuqa 8. Wena uzothini? Uzothi i-enjambment. And then if you have to give a reason, bazothinika isizathu, you are going to say alinawo uhlobo lokuloba ekugcineni. Right, so uma sibuka ukuxhumana, we look at igama lonke instead of the imvumelwano. The difference between imvumelwano and ukuxhumana ukuthi imvumelwano we look at the syllables and ukuxhumana we look at igama lonke. So umuqa 9 and 10, we find ukuxhumana sigcino ndini ndini. Umuqa 11 and 12, as much as kunama syllables amathathu, it's syllables anyway. So we say imvumelano sigcino ngangami. Right, Isizulu shows itself again kumuqa 12, where we found uphawu lokuloba phakathi nendawo. We are done with Isakhiwo sangaphandle. Now we are looking at Isakhiwo sangaphakathi. Isakhiwo sangaphakathi is the internal structure. We are now going to thoroughly analyze the poem and find out the meaning of the poem, the message, what the author is trying to say, get to understand imicabango ye-author and everything that the author was trying to say about this poem. Right, looking at isihloko sethu. Isihloko sale Inkondlo sikhuluma ngobuhle bentombi. So it's talking about the beauty of a girl. And ayikho hidden agenda, it's just simply talking about the beauty of the girl. Right, I'm now going to read both English and Isizulu version. I have translated it in Inkondlo yakho ngayenza ngesingisi so that you can have a better understanding ukuthi kuchaza ukuthini. Ngizoqala ngifunde Isizulu bese ngifunda isingisi. Ubuhle bentombi, Bongani Mavuso. Nabo ubuhle bentombi yakwaZulu, bongithinta emanonini njengomzwilili wezulu. Libafazi beduba inyama kungemnyama buqe. Sengibathe ngiqinisa untanjana, ngizama ukusika ukhasi entonjana. Ayenginaki nakunginaka abakwethu le ntonjana. Ngithe ngizama ukuyiqabula manqa kwangathi ngithinta isixhanti sezibonkolo. Hlukana nami esibothondini, angisiyi itype yakho mfondini. Kwasimzwe kwacaca ukuthi ayingangami. Oh hey, kazi ngiyomthalaphi ongangami. Right, now I'm going to read the English version. Here's this beauty of this young Zulu girl. It excites me like the feeling I get when I listen to the sound of a hummingbird, when it's cloudy but not so dark. As much as I try to impress by fixing my tie, trying to score points from this girl I met in Tunjana, this little girl is not even paying attention to me. I tried kissing her. Mwah. It seems like I started trouble. Leave me alone, you useless man. I'm not your type. It became clear that this is bigger than me. I wonder, when will I ever find my own? Okay, so now that we understand ukuthi inkondlo yethu ikhuluma ngani, let's look at each line. Nabu ubuhle bentombi yakwaZulu. So the author is pointing at this beautiful girl and saying, here's this beauty, here's this beauty that represents a girl, yakwaZulu, a real Zulu girl. Line 2. Bongithinte emanonini njengomzwilili wezulu. Right. So uma sithi into ekuthinte emanonini, it excites you, it elevates you, it makes you very happy. Uthi njengomzwilili wezulu, so ucomparisha the happiness and the excitement that anayo to a hummingbird. Libafazi beduba inyama kungemnyama bhuqe. Right, so uzama ukuchazela the weather. Mekuthiwa libafazi beduba inyama kusuke kugqubele, it's cloudy but it's not dark. So at that moment he's trying to explain ukuthi what the weather is like. Line 4. Sengibathe ngiqinisa untanjana. So he's trying to impress this girl by fixing uthai wakhe. Now we don't know whether it's the actual tie, or maybe he's just coughing. You know, when you're going to speak to somebody and you want to clear your throat, so it could be with his clearing his throat, but whatever is happening, it's happening la around the neck, and he's making a move to impress intombazana. Ngizama ukusika ukhasi entonjana. The place that this girl and Imbongi is at a place called Entonjana. Ayinginaki nakunginaka, line 6. Ayinginaki nakunginaka bakwethu le ntonjana. Right, so you can see ukuthi from these lines 1 and 5, the poet was quite excited about all of this, going to approach the girl, and now line 6, the excitement is dying. Ngoba uthi ayinginaki nakunginaka, this girl is not even paying attention to me. And the last word uthi intonjana. Intonjana is when sinciphisa igama, so ama diminutives sithi ntombi, and then when we change igama lithi ntombi, we change it to intonjana. So when we say intonjana, he's actually being rude, you know, because this little girl. So now he's just saying he has this little girl, because this little girl is not even paying attention to me. Right, so he's trying to let's say force himself on her manje. You know, he's trying to kiss the girl, and right, so that's they just want us to have an understanding. Okay, so now he's actually kissing the Zulu girl. Kwangathi ngithinta isikhanti sezibonkolo. Isikhanti sezibonkolo are ends, right? Izibonkolo are ends. So manje isikhanti is a symbol, right? Is a I'm going to put a okay. So isikhanti sezibonkolo. I want you to imagine umhlabathi, right? I want you to imagine a sand, a bulgy sand with a lot of ants in it, and then I want you to imagine somebody kicking leo sand, and then the ants just going all over the place and also trying to bite you. So the poet is trying to compare how pissed off, how angry the girl was, you know, as if uthinte isixhanti sezibonkolo. And then the girl responds to all this action uthi, hlukana nami Sibotondeni, leave me alone, you useless man. Angisiyi type yakho Mfondini. I'm not your type Mfondini. And then that made the author yabona ukuthi kwasize kwamcaca ukuthi ayingangami. So it's clearly ukuthi it's not for him. And then uline 12 uthi, oh hey kazi ngiyomtholaphi ongangami, uthi I wonder where will I find my type. Right, so uhlobo lwalenkondlo we call it lyric, and isizathu salokho ngoba ikhuluma ngemizwa, it talks about the feelings of a poet. Umoya walenkondlo, which is a tone, uqubile, right? Remember when I was doing line by line, I explained ukuthi the poet was first happy and then washintsha waba unhappy because of the disappointment. So unomoya wokujabula and umoya wokuphoxeka. So you will say ukuthi umoya oqubile, and then you have to explain ukuthi wokujabula and okuphoxeka. Umqondo walenkondlo usobala. Right, so we know ukuthi there's no hidden messages, there's no hidden agenda kule nkondlo. The poet is simply talking about the beauty of the girl, and we can see it from the top, from ihloko sakhona. So umqondo osobala. Izifenqo esizithola kule nkondlo zimbili. Kumugqa wesibili sithola izifenqo ezimbili. Sithola isenzamuntu lapho ethi khona bungithinta emanonini. Here he's talking about the beauty, and he's saying ukuthi the beauty is actually touching him. So we can see a sense of touch here, and a beauty cannot touch. So uyenze yaba isenzamuntu, wayenza yaba a personification. And then we also find njengomzwilili, so we are comparish, and lapho sithola isifaniso, which is a simile. We also find isifaniso kumugqa 8 la ethi khona kwangathi ngithinta isixhanti sezibonkolo. So uthi it was as if, so uyacomparisha ukuthi bethinta isixhanti sezibonkolo. We find senses, sithola inzwa yokuthinta, and kumugqa 2 nomugqa 8. So ukuthinta emanonini, and umugqa 8 uthi kwangathi ngithinta, so it's as if uthinta that group of ants. Isenzo ukuthi esisitholayo lana sithola kumugqa 3 and umugqa 7 la kuthiwa bhuqe and manqa, the sounds that they're making angena kwisenzo ukuthi. Thank you. I hope you understood. I hope it made sense, and all the best. All the best. Please do like, please do subscribe so that I can keep posting. Thank you.